Dear Professor, my name is Chang Liu. My book's name is The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. This is my catalog. There are three parts in here. First one is the summary. It includes introducing Benjamin Graham and this book. Second one about analysis. Because I only have 10 minutes, so I just analyzes the margin of safety. Last one about my feeling for this book. So let's start it. This part, I will introduce Benjamin Graham and this book. Benjamin Graham was a British-born American professional investor. Graham is considered the father of value investing, an investment approach he began teaching at Columbia Business School in 1928 and subsequently refined with David Dodd through various editions of their famous book, Security Analysis. Graham had many disciples in his lifetime, a number of whom went on to become successful investors themselves. Graham's most well-known disciple is Warren Buffett. Buffett, who credits Graham as grounding him with a sound intellectual investment framework, described him as the second most influential person in his life after his own father. In fact, Graham had such an overwhelming influence on his students. About this book, The Intelligent Investor is a classic book in the investment area. Firstly, this book points out the difference between investment and speculation and tells the intelligent investors how to make sure the expected benefits. This book also focuses on the portfolio policy for defensive and enterprising investors. It tells the investor how to deal with market fluctuations. This book also refers to fund investment as a stock selection for defensive and enterprising and other problems. In the end of this book, Graham makes an example about dividend policy. Finally, the margin of safety is the most important part in this book. All in all, this book helps investors to avoid some risk and mistakes. About this part, I will analyze margin of safety. Margin of safety is the central concept of the investment. Graham said, confronted with the challenge to distill the secret of sound investment into three words. We mentioned the motto margin of safety, so this runs through all the preceding discussion of investment policy. And he also points out the principle of margin of safety. The function of margin of safety is that of rendering unnecessary and accurate estimate of the future. If the margin is a large one, then it's enough to assume that future earnings will not fall far below those of the past in order for an investor to feel sufficiently protected against the vicissitude of time. About the principle of margin of safety, Graham meant the first one is margin of safety is not accurate. The second one, margin of safety should be large. The next one, margin of safety will be verified by time. The last one, the margin of safety only can be filled in a few periods, and most of the time the margin of safety doesn't actually exist. For this part, I list some Benjamin Graham thoughts. First one, he thinks the part that the yield of common stock investor exceeds the bond is investors' margin of safety because the excess part will return to investors as dividends and the rest is the future value-added assets to enterprise. Graham has mentioned before, when yield of common stock is 2 times more than interest rate of long-term national debt, the margin of safety existed. The second one, he thinks the high-risk investors pay for high-quality stock is not the main risk. Sometimes People want to get high return opportunities. They will undertake the risk of losing capital. Sometimes people want to make a goal for return opportunity and only focus on going up, ignore the downside risk. So in other words, investors tend to buy those stocks trend blindly with the overall market in economic boom. In this way, the risk of investors is huge because when the general trend goes down, this enterprise will fall into operating difficulties. The last one, because most investors make an investment, but there is no difference from speculation. Therefore, he thinks the important difference between investment and speculation is whether hold a real margin of safety. Margin of safety can be proved by data, perceive, reasoning, and a lot of practical enterprises. This is my last part about my review. I think The Intelligent Investor is an amazing book for me. I think I learned much from this book. That's my opinions as followed. Maybe there are some wrong points. The first one, investment, is value investing. The second one, the meaning of the difference between value and price. That is the real value for the investment. For example, you find one product whose value in $1, price in 6 cents. Buy it and then sell it after price reflects the value. The third one about there are two kinds of investors, defensive investor and enterprising investor. And the important difference between both of them is that enterprising investors are willing to put lost time on investing, and for defensive investor, the index fund is the best way to invest. And the third one is about the difference between invest and speculation. I have mentioned before, the most difference between both of them is that whether hold a real margin of safety. And the last one about the aim. The aim of investing is not that in order to get a perfect consequence, or you must win this market. That's all my review about this book. And I have one question. Why this book is recommended by Buffett? I think because this book provides a correct framework of investment decision. Buffett wrote, to invest successful over a lifetime does not require stratospheric IQ and usual business insight or inside information. What's needed is a sound intellectual framework for making decisions and the ability to keep emotion from coding that framework. This book clearly prescribes the proper framework. You must supply the emotion discipline. So a correct framework is the best way to invest. About margin of safety, I think and I believe it will be cornerstone of rational investment. Thank you for listening.